Do you have a handle on what this is costing the citizens of Marietta and the city of Marietta? Do you have a handle, a real handle, on what this is costing us out of our pockets? And please, use the word illegal aliens. They came across here illegally.
Whatever you think about immigration, these are children, and they're here by no fault of their own. And these children don't have anywhere else to go.
Well, in the absence of an immigration policy, or at least in the absence of strong border enforcement, we're seeing this spill over. It spilled over at a town hall meeting in Marietta, California last night. A different reaction from a judge in Dallas, Texas, which is accepting many of these wayward children coming up from Central America. Chuck, what do you make of this? It's certainly not going away anytime soon.
It would be nice if everyone could agree on one thing, which is whatever your view of immigration, legal, illegal, Central America, whatever part of the world, children leaving El Salvador or Honduras and going across Mexico in an extremely dangerous environment where they're going to starve, where they might get raped, waylaid, robbed, even killed in some cases, to then come up to the U.S. border and lie around in these big buildings indefinitely is no one's idea of what immigration should be all about. And what needs to happen is the United States has to organize itself to start deterring and preventing this flow, which is being organized by traffickers in Mexico who are exploiting the very understandable feelings of families who are in the United States and want to get their children out of Central America. And we're being charged thousands and thousands of dollars for this quote-unquote service. And I think actually the president has sort of belatedly come around to that view, and he's introduced a pretty sound, I think at least in principle, proposal that would start spending some money to process these people as they're supposed to be processed legally, house them and give them services temporarily, and then get legislation redrafted so that this extended asylum program that we've offered and that's being abused can be amended, and you can show people that there's no way into this country like this.
Josh Earnest addressed this funding that the president wants from Congress for this, and among the things the president is asking for, immigration judges, asylum officials, ICE attorneys, and more facilities. Lacking from Earnest's statement yesterday was the need for greater border enforcement. More border agents.
You need all these things. I completely agree with you. I thought you said that very well about these children coming across this 1,000-mile journey. And I think that what we're seeing is this explosion of anger that we just saw on the air about folks that don't think that this is fair. So there's that fairness streak in America. But then there's a humanitarian streak, too. We don't want to turn away these children. We want to take care of them. And I think that's all coming to the fore. And in fact, it also plays out in the immigration debate. You know, we have these competing feelings in our national psyche. The sad thing is that Obama has just declared immigration reform dead for now. I think some of the blame goes to him. A lot of the blame goes to hard right voices who prevent Republican reformers like Marco Rubio in the Senate and Paul Ryan in the House from moving forward on something that we can all agree on, understanding that this is a tough issue on all fronts.
Eric Cantor was moving forward on it too.
Yeah.
We saw what happened to him in the primary election.
Yeah, but even if you move on it, even if a lot of people on the left might agree on it, that bill would have done absolutely nothing to prevent or cure or reverse the inundation that we're getting today. So the idea the president said, well, it's because there's no comprehensive reform this is happening, is simply ridiculous. It's a complete non sequitur. The administration says, oh, it's a result of the crime and the poverty in Central America, as if crime and poverty have not been a constant in Central America for generations. What changed is not the crime and the poverty. It's not the cartels who want to exploit all this. What changed is a policy of the United States, unlawful, I would say, the administration unilaterally changing the law regarding children who come in illegally and allowing them to stay. That word has spread. That's why in Central America the feeling is if you send your kids, they will stay. And it isn't only a rumor and a message. Given the laws as they exist with the processing, it is a fact. The overwhelming majority, probably 90% of the children arriving today will never return. You process them, you put them on a bus, you put them with their relatives, and then you tell them you have to show up in 15 days and get a hearing. Do you think any of them are going to show up? Of course not. And they know at the other end of that is going to be legalization amnesty. You want to cure the humanitarian issue? You shut the border, you let everyone know that if you get all the way through Mexico, you will not stay in the U.S. That will be a deterrent, and it will stop.
Chuck, and
I was just going to say, the reason for this logjam is not what Obama did. It was a 2008 law signed into law by George Bush that created all this new process.
Legislation today,
and he has done that.
to get it reversed.
The Obama thing applies to young people who are living in the country already. It doesn't apply to these young children.
Yeah,
coming.
the discussion will. They're hearing in Central America.
The discussion will continue, and so will the flood of these children across the border for the time being. That's it for the panel.